What do you say we start with just a few moments in silence together?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. What would you like to explore in this session?
What would I like to explore? I would like to explore. I have a strong I'm not ready belief. And it's blocking me. And like a lot of the things I want to do and the inspiration I get, it's like I get a surge of energy and I create something with a lot of joy and excitement, and then it comes to putting it out in the world and there's just this
big block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the longer I leave it, the harder it comes to act.
Okay. And the narrative of this block is that you're not ready.
I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I think there's some kind of like humiliation with being seen by the world. It's a little bit complex. It's like the feeling is I fear, it's almost like what stops me is that people will see that I'm not as good as what I'm putting out that I am. So it's like inside I feel like I have gifts, and the fear is that I actually don't, and
other people will see that.
Other people are going to see that.
Expose you
Yeah.
a bit.
And kind of judge, like, who does she think she is?
Yeah, I can see that. So there's an insecurity about offering your gift to the world. And really, there's a lot there, no? Like you say, you have a lot of creativity and it's great to plan it. But then when it comes to the actual doing of it, there's the block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been running for so many years. It's now also building up like frustration.
Yeah.
That I'm not acting. And this also becomes another block.
Yeah.
It's like...
Okay. And where do you feel this block? Like if you tune in right now, when you speak about this block, what are you experiencing in your body? Is there a certain location where you can feel this block?
It feels like a wedge in my heart. Like something has wedged itself in.
Okay. So like a strong wedge in your heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's stopping something. Stopping something from coming out. Like a plug.
Yeah. Okay, so notice that. And what is your relationship with this? Like, how are you relating with this wedge in your heart?
Like in this moment, or...
Yeah, in this moment.
It feels a little bit like Like we're both rubbing heads with each other.
So you're not fully welcoming and curious about it, but rather wish it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it annoying.
I find it annoying.
And a bit like, Urgh.
Okay, so take a breath into that. You have this block and you're annoyed by the block. And I want to see, is it possible to invite some curiosity for this block that you have?
What is most present is the amount of anger that I feel for this block.
Okay, so you're really angry about it.
Yeah, I'm really fucking angry.
You're really fucking angry about it. Okay. Can you say yes to your anger?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel your anger?
Feels like there's some bubbling in my chest. Feel it like the temperature feels like very hot, like burning almost. Feel some kind of like grip in my belly.
I sense it a bit like you're collapsing under it. Is it like that for you? Like...
When I said yes to it, a lot of it actually released.
Released in the moment.
Yeah. Like it kind of went, ah.
Okay.
It doesn't ring true to the collapsing
No.
of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, because it felt like the energy was rising, and then you kind of said, "Can you say yes to it?" And it was like, yes. And maybe that was relief.
Yeah, it felt like relief of like, oh yeah, I can say yes to the anger.
Okay.
And it doesn't need to like fight to be seen. It felt like, oh, I've acknowledged it and like, that's nice.
Some opening happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So how is your relationship with perfectionism and doing the right thing? Is that important for you?
Very.
Very. Yeah. And how is it towards others? Is it the same level of...
How is it towards others? Yeah, maybe I have a high standard for humans.
So you can be quite critical.
That for me to live by and that for others to live by. So yes, it makes me very judgmental.
Okay.
Very critical.
Very critical towards self and others.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm always viewing others with the view that I have of myself. Like, yeah, like I see facilitation happening and I see amazing facilitators, and so then my brain goes like, that's the bar. And then I see some who I don't feel matches that, and then I attach my own, I put myself in comparison to that, who is also not with that, and so I kind of then confirm, and this is why you're not doing it.
Yes. You know, it's funny because the way to overcome that is to do it.
Yeah, I
Right?
know. I know.
Making mistakes is part of the growth into what you know you can do. right?
Yeah.
Going through the fear and the nervousness. So it sounds like you are making the fear of doing it into a reason of not doing it.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. So just notice that. You're submitting to your fear. And let's not have any judgment about that. We all do it, right? But just see that that is sometimes happens for you. How is it to look at you in this way, to see this pattern?
Yeah, it brings like some air of like seriousness, sadness. Yeah, and also this kind of like surprise, like, oh yeah, that's what's happening. But the biggest one, I think, is sadness.
The sadness of a life not lived. Is it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I have seen many times in my life the freedom that comes when I face my fears, and I see the power I have given it by not facing my fears with this area. It's like I missed it. I didn't spot it.
Yeah, so it's about the relationship to fear also. And you see that when you meet fear with like a challenge and you manage to do it, you feel free afterwards and liberated, maybe expanded even.
Yeah.
And when you meet it with submission, then you feel sad about it.
Yeah, and it just puts me more into insecurity and doubt, and when I listen to the fear, it pushes me more into the cave rather than like the shining sun.
Yeah. So what is the message of fear? If you check in with it, this fear that holds you back in life, what does it want for you?
Yeah, it wants to keep me safe.
Keep you safe. Okay, that seems like a nice intention.
Yeah.
Do you still feel this connection with this block in your heart area?
Yeah, now it feels more like a dagger.
Like a dagger.
Knife.
So this dagger is really trying to keep you safe. So how would it be to thank it for its intention? Seems like a nice intention to have. But also it seems to limit you in a way that you don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling like some air of like compassionate sorrow.
Right. And if you let yourself really feel that compassionate sorrow for you and the fear, and
Yeah, it brings a lot of tears. And I get little glimpses of like a little Jeyda that come up.
yeah, a little Jeyda. Maybe she wasn't always celebrated for her gifts, contributions.
Yeah, you hit a spot with that one.
Yeah. Obviously, that's very painful. So it sounds like there's some sort of inner protector
Yeah.
that somehow maybe was very needed when little Jeyda was young. And that one seems to still be very much protecting.
Yeah, I can instantly see how it's how that's been a pattern. Yeah.
I'm wondering if you can sort of tune into this protector part in your body, if you can feel it somewhere. Where can you feel it?
Yeah, I can also feel it like around the chest.
Around the chest.
Feels like there is like these like metal gates. They're like armor.
Would you like to try something short?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want you to thank it for its intention to protect you from harm. Say that you really appreciate them. Just extend that sense of gratitude for their support. How is that?
I'd like to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Thank you for protecting me from, or trying to protect me from harm. And I appreciate that you have done that.
In the past, yeah.
In the past.
Yeah. And now you can ask it how old it thinks you are.
How old do you think I am?
And you just listen for any response there.
3.
3. Yeah. It was probably really needed back then. Yeah.
He instantly goes from being like an enemy to like adorable.
Yeah. So now you have some more compassion and celebration for him also.
Yeah, it's a he.
It's a he.
Definitely a he.
And you can inform it how old you are now.
I'm 32.
You're 32.
I'm 32 years old.
And how does he respond to hearing that?
Yeah, he like acknowledges it. Like he kind of like respectfully nods. Like,
Respectfully nods.
okay, you're 32.
Okay. So now you're a bit older, you're a bit wiser, and maybe now you would like to have a bit more autonomy in how to live the life.
Yeah, I would like some more autonomy in how to live my life.
How does he respond to that?
He doesn't really like it.
He doesn't like it. Okay, so he doesn't really trust you.
He doesn't really trust me. He's a bit like, like a bit like unsure about my, yeah.
Okay. So you can let him know that you really honor that he feels like that.
Yeah, I really honor that you feel like that.
And wonder what would make him safe to let you be a bit more explorative and step into more of what you want to give. What would make him feel safe?
Yeah, and what comes up is like, because of how much I allow my insecurities to control me, it's like he doesn't trust that I really have myself. Like, he is longing to see more strength in the way I stand up for what I want to do.
And what would that look like?
Yeah, like making quality time, like planning, putting aside quality time to really honor and saying no to certain things because I want to prioritize these things. Like prioritizing.
Okay. So if you prioritize this longing to be more in these different space holding roles, then he would feel more trust towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let yourself just receive that. And what happens in you when, right now?
Yeah, there's something happening in the chest. It's like there's some kind of energy moving. It's like touching little painful parts and moving, like there's something happening here.
Okay, so something is moving and sort of like an untangling or
Yeah.
reconfiguration kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like reconfiguring happening.
Okay, so just watch that process a bit. Allow it to happen. And so in order to be able to really live up to his request, it sounds like you need to a bit look at how you're relating with this fear when it comes. I can tell you for sure it's not going to go away. So
Yeah.
it's really about finding a way to live what you want, even though there is fear.
Yeah. I can see how like really the old fear, it's like a fear of not making parents proud. This is what came up when you mirrored to me, like that I wasn't celebrated for my gifts. I can see, oh yeah, like when I really wanted to run with that dream, that was a no from them, so I didn't. And then when I really wanted to do that, it was a no from them, and so I can see that there is like that is actually the fear still within me, like my inner parents with their judgments on what will make me a successful human and what will not. And somehow seeing that makes it a bit easier to face. I feel in this moment.
Great. So it sounds like that projection is dropping a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess so at some point there is this choice kind of, are you going to be who your parent wants you to be, or are you going to be who you want to be? That all.
That one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who am I going to be?
Well, who are you? Maybe is the better question.
Yeah.
Who are you really? What is truly important for you? What really makes you come alive?
Yes.
What happens when you tune into these questions? I see a smile.
Yeah, so much joy. Like I know what brings me joy. I know what makes me tick. I know what's most fulfilling to do with my time. Like I can just feel that instantly when you say it. It's like you ask, who am I? And this was a question mark, but when you shared, like, when you asked, and what things bring you alive, this was like, this is so clear for me.
So what is it?
Yeah, it's being in service of truth, like supporting, guiding others to truth, their truth, or truth of the moment, like their true truth, like outside of all of the other things that get in the way of that.
So being a guide and a support for discovery of truth of the moment.
Yeah, and truth of the human potential. Yeah, the unlimited vastness of the human potential. Like what we are capable of. How free we can really feel. Wow, and I see how quickly my inner critic wants to come in with that. Which I'm just...
So now your inner critic is here also.
Yeah.
Criticizing you for what?
For not doing that which I want to
Yeah.
guide people in.
Yeah, okay. So he's adding pressure on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pressure. And it's okay. Like, I can see that he is also afraid. So I don't have to give that one so much space, actually.
What's happening now?
Yeah, I noticed my hand on my chest.
Yeah, I notice it too. Seems like your heart is active.
Yeah. Or a bit like fragile. Yeah, the mind is in.
The mind is in.
And I'm trying to keep it out.
Okay.
And then it puts me in some like...
Yeah, now you're fighting with it.
Now
Yeah.
I'm fighting with it.
So notice the fighting. Notice the mind. Notice your breath. Can you allow it to be just the way it is? Yeah, mind is here. So what? You are also here, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, sense your ground and your commitment to yourself. And maybe acknowledge, like, there's fearful patterns in you, and sometimes it's difficult. It's a bit heavy sometimes.
Yeah, it's a bit heavy sometimes.
Yeah. Like for all of us. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's like I could see I was like getting somewhere, and then the mind came in and it kind of collapsed, and I was trying to like, no,
Yeah.
stay onto that,
Yeah.
that part.
You see, something we do a lot is that we make things really big. Like me and my dream and all of this potential, and I'm going to live all of it, and it's going to be amazing. And, it becomes a very big thing. But life happens one thing at a time. It doesn't happen all at once. It's one thing at a time. 1 hour of planning a workshop. Now it's dinner. Next week, another hour. It's really one thing at a time. If we make it really big, then often it feels like we're collapsing under the greatness of it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Big dream, big pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Rather just be who you are. I've seen you hold space a lot. You are good at it.
I know I'm good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, right? You know you're good at it.
Yeah.
There's 2 to 4 minutes left. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
But you did.
Yeah, well, I guess now you know too. We have a few minutes left.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's about like connecting more to the joy of doing rather than like filling these huge boots that I have for myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how does it feel to say that?
Easier. Simpler.
Mm. And I think also, maybe acknowledging to yourself that you have access to greatness and brilliance and wisdom and love, and you know what? You have that connection.
Yeah, it's like I have polar opposite ends of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And on one side, it's like I see my gifts, I see the way they land in and the spaces that I hold, and like I can see that there is like a very easy, like beautiful gift of mine.
Mm.
And then the other side is like the older parts of me that do not think I'm good enough, and so it's kind of like
Yeah.
the inspiration comes because I know, like, whoa, what can I hold? And then that part, the fear comes in.
And how would it be to include all of that in your teaching, in your space holding? To just be like, hey, I'm one of you guys. I'm just figuring it out too. But I have learned some things. I have recognized a thing or two. I thought I could share that.
Yeah.
Just a human being like all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I love bringing the human part in. Yeah, one thing I was actually thinking when you said that, a part of me thought like, oh, maybe one day I will hold spaces on how to face the fear.
Probably. Yeah.
Like the obstacle is the way.
And I guess right now it seems like somehow recognizing that fear is not a reason to not do it.
Yeah.
It's part of growing up or growing in or whichever direction.
I actually have like a mantra, which is like, where my fear is, that's where I go. Like fear is usually for me the indication of where my expansion is, where the growth is. But I just had a bit of a blind spot with this one. Like, to really name it is like really helpful, actually. To really put words on actually what is happening. And it's like, okay, then that's where it is. Now I face it.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. How does it feel to end here?
Feels good to end here.
Cool. So what is one small step you can make in this direction in the coming week?
Coming week. One small step in the coming week. Yeah, I could plan 2 hours over the weekend to give some space to the things I want to create.
What's the likelihood of you actually doing it on a scale from 1 to 10?
6.
6. Would it be higher if you made it a bit less? Is there somewhere to make that higher?
Yeah. Scheduling it for tonight.
Right.
And maybe like, 30 minutes.
30 minutes starting something tonight.
Yeah.
What's the number now for you on that idea?
Like an 8.
Like an 8. Sounds good enough for me.
Yeah. Me too.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it feels clearer for me. Just to have this, like, okay, that's what's happening. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's a wrap.